Jai Shri Ram. The brave land of Rajasthan has birthed many great warriors, but the story of Lord Vishnu's avatar, who was not born from a mother's womb, but emerged from a split rock onto a lotus flower, is truly the most spectacular. Today, we are talking about the revered deity of Sanatan Dharma, Lord Devnarayan. This isn't just a tale of a folk god, but an epic saga of sacrifice, penance, honor, and revenge, known in Rajasthani literature as the Bagdawat Bharat. Our story begins a long time ago. In the heroic lands of Rajasthan, there was an incredibly prosperous region called Gotha. Its leader was the brave Bhag Singh. Together with his queens, he lived a life full of peace, wealth, and absolute happiness. As time passed, Bhag Singh was blessed with 24 sons, who went down in history as the 24 Bagdawat brothers. They grew up strong, and the most powerful and radiant among them all was Sawai Bhoj. In their youth, these 24 brothers devotedly served their spiritual guru, Baba Rupnath, for 12 grueling years. Pleased by their extreme dedication, the guru offered them a boon. The guru said, "Ask for anything you desire, but I can only grant one of two choices: a long, ordinary life, or just 12 years of life, but filled with boundless wealth, luxury, and immortal glory." Filled with fiery ambition, the warriors rejected a long life and chose the 12 years of limitless wealth, luxury, and eternal fame. The guru granted their wish, but gave them a chilling warning. The moment these 12 years end, death itself will knock at your door. Now, the 24 Bagdawat brothers possessed unimaginable wealth. They dined on plates of solid gold and silver, and tales of their massive fortune became the talk of the land. Their glorious legend began echoing far and wide. The brave Sawai Bhoj had a close friend, King Gurjar, who was also known as Raoji. The two shared an unbreakable bond, just like sworn brothers. They stood by each other's side through thick and thin. But times changed. Gurjar's marriage was arranged with the Princess of Malwa, Queen Jayamati. Sawai Bhoj also traveled to Malwa along with the wedding procession. Seeing Sawai Bhoj standing at the ceremonial gates, Queen Jayamati was completely captivated by his aura and courage. In her heart, she immediately accepted him as her husband and flat out refused to marry Gurjar. Sawai Bhoj was deeply moved by the queen's bravery. Honoring his warrior code and vows, he respected her wishes and brought her back to his fortress in Gotha. This incident left a deep wound in Gurjar's heart. Their friendship had now turned into bitter hostility. Burning with revenge, he attacked Gotha with a massive army and sent one final warning: return the queen or prepare for war. But the Bagdawat warriors were men of honor and duty. Protecting a woman who sought refuge meant far more to them than their own lives. Sawai Bhoj accepted the war, but completely refused to return the queen. And this blew the horn for an epic, devastating battle. On the banks of the Kari River, a fierce war erupted on the soils of Gotha, an event famously known as the Bagdawat Bharat War. On one side stood Gurjar's massive army, and on the other, the 24 brave brothers. The 12-year boon had reached its end, and destiny was now inevitable. The Bagdawats fought with incredible valor, but no one could defy the ultimate will of fate. Sawai Bhoj, along with his 23 brothers, attained martyrdom. The sun had officially set on Gotha. Hearing the news of this absolute destruction, Queen Jayamati didn't shed a single tear. She knew this was all predetermined. She herself was an incarnation of a divine power, sent down simply to fulfill the sage's prophecy. Walking onto the battlefield, she searched for Sawai Bhoj's head, placed it in her lap, and sat upon the funeral pyre. Her final words were, "My ultimate purpose is fulfilled. The Bagdawats are now immortal." Meanwhile, the brave Sawai Bhoj's wife, Mata Sadhu, was pregnant. Following her husband's martyrdom, she decided to sacrifice herself on his funeral pyre. But that very night, Lord Vishnu appeared in her dream and stopped her. He said, "O goddess, I am deeply pleased with your devotion. I am currently resting within your womb, but my birth will be entirely divine." Mata Sadhu was a staunch devotee of Vishnu. This dream gave her immense patience and unshakable faith. Over at the kingdom, King Durjansal learned from his spies that the true heir of the Bagdawat bloodline was growing in Mata Sadhu's womb. Fearing the enemies, Mata Sadhu fled the region and took refuge in the remote hills of Malaseri. Time passed. The auspicious day of Magh Shukla Saptami, in the year 968, finally arrived. Mata Sadhu was deeply absorbed in her prayers. Suddenly, nature put on a miraculous display. A massive mountain rock split wide open with a thunderous roar. A stream of water burst forth, and resting upon a lotus flower in that very water, an incarnation of Vishnu appeared as a divine child. No labor pains, no ordinary birth. This was a self-manifested avatar. He was named Devnarayan, and later became known as Uday Singh and Devdani. Mata Sadhu gently lifted the divine baby from the lotus and cradled him in her arms. Meanwhile, Durjansal was still hunting for the mother and child, desperate to snuff out the last remaining light of the Bagdawat lineage. To protect her son, Mata Sadhu took him away to her maternal home in Dewas. That is where Lord Devnarayan spent his childhood. In his youth, he performed intense penance at Siddhawat, situated on the banks of the Shipra River near Ujjain. There, he mastered the art of weaponry and acquired profound knowledge of Ayurveda. He also received his magical mare, Lilagar, who was faster than the wind itself. Even as a child, he began performing miracles. His early years were truly supernatural and radiating with energy. As time rolled on, history began to fade, but the truth can never stay hidden forever. One day, Chochu Bhat, the royal poet and genealogist of the Bagdawat dynasty, crossed a treacherous path and arrived in Malwa. He revealed to Devnarayan the harsh truth about the martyrdom of his father and 23 uncles, how Durjansal, also known as Raoji, had deceitfully wiped them out. The waters of the Kari River are still red with their blood. Gotha lies completely deserted, and the enemy is currently ruling your lands. Hearing this, Lord Devnarayan's blood began to boil. But he wasn't just a fierce warrior. He was also a visionary sage. He knew that taking down a massive army required more than just courage. It demanded strategy. Through his divine vision, he discovered that his uncle's sons, Punaji and Menduji, were actually still alive. Look at the sheer irony of fate. Punaji had been raised in the very palace of Raoji, the sworn enemy of their bloodline. Raoji had raised him with the sole intention of ensuring no heir of the Bagdawat dynasty would ever rise against him. The time had finally come. Lord Devnarayan vowed to unite his scattered clan and rebuild Gotha from the ground up. Along with his mother Sadhu, the maid Savitri, cattle herders and loyal companions, he marched out from Malwa toward Rajasthan. And leading from the very front, riding his majestic mare Lilagar, was Lord Devnarayan himself. Journeying onward, they reached the lands of Kandel. The scene there was horrific. The river had completely dried up, the earth was cracked open, and people were desperately yearning for every single drop of water. His companions pleaded, "Lord, our throats are parched with extreme thirst, and even the horses are refusing to take another step." Lord Devnarayan simply smiled. He raised his spear and struck the dry riverbed hard. In the blink of an eye, a stream of cool, fresh water burst out of that barren land. His companions and the locals immediately bowed at his feet. The drought-stricken people of that place finally found relief. Witnessing this absolute miracle, everyone in the area fell to Lord Devnarayan's feet. After resting there for some time, the Lord and his companions moved forward. But their enemies weren't just human. Unseen forces were also blocking their path. As they advanced, the Chachu serpent spread its massive body and blocked the road completely. Seeing its venomous hood, even the bravest warriors felt their courage shake. Lord Devnarayan stepped down from his horse and fearlessly approached the snake. Using his divine power, he easily tamed the beast. The very serpent that caused terror in everyone's hearts had now become his loyal servant. After a long journey, they finally reached their ancestral homeland of Gotha Dadawata. A dead silence hung in the air. Durjansal's cruel atrocities had turned the once thriving Gotha into an absolute wasteland. Seeing this tragic sight, Lord Dev's heart melted with sorrow. He reached out and touched an ancient, dried-up neem tree. With just his touch, the tree instantly bloomed back to life, turning lush green. It is said that its leaves became infused with incredible medicinal properties. Ever since that day, neem leaves are offered as a sacred tribute in Devnarayan temples. Meanwhile, when Durjansal received the news that Devnarayan had returned to Gotha, he hatched a wicked, deceitful plan. He knew winning a direct war would be too difficult, so he resorted to pure trickery. He deliberately summoned Devnarayan's own cousins, Boonaji and Menduji, and said, "A lowly cowherd has come to conquer our lands. Go and finish him off." His vicious motive was to pit brother directly against brother. Fueled by blind rage, both brothers arrived in Gotha with an army and challenged him, "Hey cowherd, leave this place immediately or face the brutal consequences." Devnarayan just stood there calmly. Just then, Chochubat stepped forward and revealed the shocking truth. "Stop. The man you are raising your swords against is not your enemy. He is your own brother, and the one who sent you here is the true destroyer of your entire bloodline." As soon as the truth came to light, their swords slipped from their hands. The brothers who had come to wage war were now tightly embracing each other, crying in grief. The moment this news reached the palace of Pinai, Durjansal erupted in fury. The three brothers had finally united. He immediately started plotting a new scheme to wipe out the Bagdawat name forever. Over in Gotha, life had finally returned after years of darkness. Matasadu's deep penance had succeeded. Thanks to Lord Devnarayan's grace, Gotha once again became wealthy and joyful. Meanwhile, Lord Devnarayan's marriage was arranged with Pipalde, the daughter of King Jai Singh of Dar. When the wedding procession arrived in Dar, they discovered that the princess was suffering from leprosy. Her body had become frail and weak from the disease. King Jai Singh was terrified that seeing this, Lord Dev would refuse the marriage. In the wedding pavilion, the king spoke with utmost humility. "O Lord, my daughter is severely afflicted by an illness. Will you still accept her?" Lord Devnarayan was an absolute ocean of compassion. He replied in a calm, soothing voice, "O king, an illness only afflicts the physical body, never the soul." Saying this, he reached out with his medicinal and divine power and touched Pipalde. A breathtaking miracle happened. Right before everyone's eyes, Princess Pipaldi's leprosy completely vanished. Her skin began to glow like pure gold, and she was instantly restored to perfect health. The entire pavilion echoed with cheers of joy. And so he was happily married to the princess. Sometime later, King Durjansal marched out with his entire military force, determined to wipe the Bagdawat name off the face of the earth. The two armies stood face to face on the very same banks of the Kari River, where years ago the blood of Sawai Bhoj and his 23 brothers had been spilled. Today, on that exact same soil, the sons were ready to avenge the blood of their fathers. The moment the battle horn sounded, the shores of the Kari River began turning red once again. Poonaji and Menduji burned so fiercely with the fire of revenge that absolute chaos erupted within Durjansal's army. But the real clash was between righteousness and absolute evil. Riding his divine mare Liligar, Lord Devnarayan tore right through the battlefield and stood directly in front of the tyrannical king Durjansal. Durjansal fought with all his might, but against the Lord's supernatural radiance, none of his weapons stood a chance. Lord Devnarayan raised his weapon, and with a single, flawless strike, he brought King Durjansal to his end. As the sinner's head fell to the ground, a dead silence swept over the battlefield, and then the skies roared with the chants of Jai Shri Devnarayan. The ashes from the funeral pyres of the 24 Bagdawats had finally grown cold. Their vengeance was complete. Having restored righteousness, rebuilt Gotha, and immortalized the Bagdawat name, Lord Devnarayan's earthly mission as an avatar was officially fulfilled. At the incredibly young age of just 31, on the holy day of Bhadrapada Shukla Saptami, Lord Devnarayan bid farewell to this mortal world and ascended to the heavenly realm of Vaikuntha. He never chased after material thrones or kingdoms. Instead, he ruled the hearts of the people. As a master of Ayurveda, a fierce protector of cows, and an invincible warrior, his epic saga is still sung today in the traditional Phad of Rajasthan. As long as the sun and the moon remain in the sky, this immortal tale of the great Gurjar hero and folk deity, Lord Sri Devnarayan, will continue to guide us for centuries to come. That was the immortal story of Lord Sri Devnarayan. If I made any errors in narrating this epic, I sincerely ask for your forgiveness. For more rare and enlightening stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Epic Veda. Thank you all so much for watching. Jai Sri Devnarayan.